Good day, everyone. I am Christine Marie Lim, a first-year civil engineering student. So for today's activity, we're gonna be doing strings and arithmetic operation. But first, let's define a string. We either use a single or double quotation marks. But there are times where we would be able to use the double quotation marks. Example, if I will be going to add an apostrophe here, Python, Python scores. For beginners, if I will be able to run it, wait, it would be a error. So, when you're able to solve it, we need to use a double quotation marks here. And here it is. It won't be able to be a error. Next, if we'll be able to define a string with multiple lengths, example, if we'll be doing a message that we send in an email, in this case, we need to use triple quotes, this one right here. For example, "Hi Christine, I hope you're doing well. Thank you." And if we're able to print the course, this one right here, it will be printed as whole without any errors. Next. So let's try to look at other characteristics of string in Python. It is what we call an index. So here, we're going to use a square brackets to get a character and a given index in the string. So to get the first character, we will be going to use a square bracket and type 0. This one right here. So the index of the first character is 0. In other words, this one, it will be a 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And if we try to run it, the result would be P. We can be also, here it is, because the P, it is indicated that the P is a 0. We can also use a negative index here. Using the negative index, we can get the character starting from the end. So if I were going to put a -1 here, this one right here, the result would be S, which is the last letter. Here, the result is S. We can also use similar syntax to extract a few characters instead of one character. Example, if I type 0 and 3 here, 0 a colon and number 3 here, if I were going to run it, it will show all the characters starting from the first character until the third character. Here it is, it shows 5. We can also have default values from the start and end index. So if we don't supply the end index, Python will return all the characters. Here. Python will return all the characters to the end of the string. And if we don't put something in the first index, Python will assume that it starts from the first character. Now if we leave a first and the end index blank, Python will assume that we started from the first character up until to the last character. Here it is. Next. In this part, we're gonna be doing a formatted string in Python. Formatted strings are very useful when you dynamically generated some text with your variables. So example, I would write my whole name using two different variables. First and the last. These are my two variables. Then I would like to say I like to sleep. So to do this, I would define another variable, which is the message. Then we add the first name first, then an addition, a sign followed by a string, this one, then a space, and add a square bracket. And next, add the last name, then followed by a string that contains the closing brackets. Followed the line, I like sleep. So if we try to print and run the message, it will contain the message that we have. So so basically this is very hard to visualize because of the different string concentrations. Here's one. So in this part we basically this one we basically shorten our variables and use this one right here. Oops. Okay, I'll type it now. First. Last. So here it is. The shortened one is here. Then we basically shorten our variables and use this one right here to indicate the first and the last variables. To define a formatted string, prefix your string with an F and use the curly brackets, this one right here, to dynamically add your variables into the strings. Oops. Wait. Next, in string methods, we have here, I would like to calculate how many characters there are in this string. So we would be able to use len, then course, then the food, the variable that we have, and let's try to print it. Len is a new default variables here in Python. So if we try to run it here, As you can see, there are 19 characters in the string. And using the len function, we can enforce a limit on a number of characters in an input field. We can also have functions specifically for strings that converts all these characters into an uppercase. To use this function, we would use the dot operator. We refer this as a methods. Na refer as a method. So if we want to make it in uppercase, just add a dot followed by the word upper. So if I try to run it, it will show the upper casing of the word I want to eat pizza. And if we try to convert the string into lowercase, just put a dot followed by a word lower and close, open and close parentheses. Then print the food lower. If we try to use this one, it will be in all lowercase. If we want to find a character or a sequence of character in a string, we can use the find method. Here, I want to find in which a character P it is, so I will be able to use a dot followed by a find and a string, then P. Here it shows 14. Here 14 because P is located in the 14 in the index 14. Next, there is also a method for replacing a character or a sequence of character that is called replace. So here I want to replace one with I want to place one with a really one, so I'll be able to just add a comma, then a string, and pass the really want. I really like. I really want. And run this program. Here we get the I really want to eat pizza. It is because we already replaced the word want into really want. We can also replace a single character. Example, I want to make it into a uppercase. So here, just add the W and R. So here, it will show that we already replaced it into an uppercase. I want to eat pizza, and there really is nowhere there because we already replaced it. So there are times where you want to check the existence of a character or sequence of character in your string. We will be using the in the operator. So it is, if you want to check whether pizza is a food, which shows in a boolean in a true or false way. So I'll be just put pizza, print pizza, then added by in food. So if I try to run it, it will show true because pizza is a food, which shows true. So in the last activity, we're gonna be looking at the arithmetic operations supported in Python language. There are different operations in Python. The following are the different operations in Python: the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and exponent. So in addition, it is indicated and by plus right here. And if we try to run it, it will show that the 8 plus 6 is 14. In subtraction, it is indicated in this this one right here. And if we try to run it, it will show that 8 minus 6 is 2. In multiplication, we're gonna be using a single asterisk. So 8 times 16 is equals to 48. So in division, there are two different kinds of division. One is a forward slash, in which we get a floating number. This one. We also have a division for getting an integer, so add another slash. And if we try to run it, here in the floating number, it will show a different numbers, 1.3333. And if we just get the integer, it will be 1. We also have a modulus, which is a percent sign, this one right here. It shows the remainder of the division. If we try to run it, the answer will be 2. There are 2 remainders in 8 divided by 6. And the last operator is the exponent, or the power, in which it is indicated in 2 asterisks here. And it will return as 8 to the power of 16. And if we try to 8 to the power of 6 rather. And if we try to run it, the answer would be this one. We also have an augmented assignment operator. We have a variable which is 8, which is called x, which is set to 8. And we want to increment this by 6. Python interpreter would add 8 plus 8 to 6. Here, this is another variable called x. Then by using open and close parentheses, we added x, which is this one right here, plus 6. And Python interpreter will immediately add it by 8 plus 6, in which the result is 14. This in which the x is the 6 is printed to x. So if we just it is just the same code but in a shorter form, this one. So that's it. Thank you.